I need a filter.
Oh my gosh. Will needs a filter.
To my face.
I need a filter. I probably do need a filter. This is raw and uncut.
Definitely.
This is Will at a Mexican restaurant trying to eat and talk to you guys after showing houses. So yeah, I probably do. Look, I
There
got
we
my
go.
realtor shirt on.
All right. So first of all, welcome everybody out. So we're going to kind of continue the discussion that we had before. Talked about a couple different things I wanted to discuss today. But just introductions. Kenny, King Truth here. Go ahead, Will.
Will is the truth here. Go ahead, Angie.
And I'm Angie, Queen Truth here.
Oh, I love it.
So, first of all, one of the things we were talking about is dating apps, okay? And when it comes to dating apps, I've tried them. I've had some success with them and some failures with it. But I feel like for a female, it's like girls always say, oh, it doesn't matter, right? Like, it doesn't matter how much you make. It doesn't matter, oh, a guy doesn't have to be super good looking. It's like, but all that is a meat market. It's only, like, if I meet a girl, I'm only really looking at her pictures.
Yeah, surface.
Right? For guys, we're not, a girl be like, oh, what did you like about my profile? I'm like, I didn't look at your profile.
We don't read the profiles. We don't even, we barely acknowledge the fact of the age, the height, and the city. So we don't really read any of the content. I don't know about you, but I know I don't.
Yeah, I don't either. So, Angie, do you read the profiles?
Yes, but I only read the profiles if I find the guy attractive. And then if I find the guy attractive, what he's right, I like humor. If whatever he wrote makes me laugh, then it's almost like, okay.
So the smoother he talks, the more of a chance he's got, right?
But I have to.
So let me ask you.
I have to be attracted to him first.
So how many people do you have in the potential box of your dating app right now?
Only just a few because I'm very picky.
No, but I'm saying, do you get people? All right, so I guess how it works. Which site are we referring to? I'm assuming Hinge, right?
Hinge, but I just got on Hinge 2 days ago. And
what were you on prior?
I tried Bumble over the summer for like 3 days, and I got.
Bumble's pretty good. I like Bumble.
I didn't like it.
Hinge, I've been on Hinge, but I don't remember. Is Hinge one that you can see the people that like you, right? You don't have to like them as well.
Yeah.
Correct.
You can see
right?
them. Yeah.
So a guy does not have to like yours. If you like him, you don't have to like his. If he likes yours, it'll show you, correct?
Yes, and then when you click on it, you have the option to just.
So pull yours up right now. How many people in 3 days have liked yours?
Like 150 plus.
Okay, so
I think that's just because I was like new. I know.
No, it's not because
100. Wait, I'm confused. Out of 150 men,
that's what I'm talking.
To one guy.
Like the very first.
Ready? So look.
Mapping.
Mine isn't active. Okay. But I don't know how it works exactly. I had it a little while ago, but I don't have it anymore. But it'll still show me, like, if I go in, right? Again, mine's not active, so it'll only show me like furry pictures. But it will show you because it's trying to get you to join the app. I have 13.
See, I've already gone through probably like.
No. Here's my point, Ange.
Oh.
My point is, this has been up for months. I have 13. And I would say I'm up 7. Okay? You have 100 and something. Okay, that is one of the.
Don't you think that was just because like I was a new person on there?
No, I think it's because you're a female.
Yeah, it's because you have a vagina.
Yeah.
Yeah. Congratulations.
Yeah, Will or me gets on. It's not like tomorrow we have 135 options.
I get honestly maybe one a week that somebody sends me a like. Maybe one a week.
Like I just said, I got 13, and I probably had it for 3 months. I don't know.
Yeah,
2 months
sounds
ago or
accurate.
something.
1 week.
You're
It's
sick.
easy. The girls who like me,
And they are massive hippopotamuses.
You're just more direct than I am.
Now look,
Honestly,
I'm not saying big women don't need love too. I'm just saying that a girl that I feel like is equitable to the girls that I've dated, right? And no, like it is. I just don't think women really understand the difference in the game we're playing.
no idea.
I
They have
definitely
no
don't.
concept.
And the whole dating app experience, this is super brand new to me, super brand new. So it's for someone like me who was married for 21 years and then hopping in to try and date people. Well, when you go out, people aren't talking to each other as what they used to, or unless it's just an age thing. I'm like, okay, well, I guess I got to try this dating app thing. And for me, like I was just putting too much emotion into it. I almost felt bad. I'm like, here I am just saying, no, thank you, no, thank you, no, thank you. And I don't know, made me uncomfortable. Like,
I'm confused. Do you want to find anybody?
oh, no, I do. That's why I'm like, okay, well, this is what I got to do. It's just, I have to get used to it. You got to understand, you've been in this game for a while. This is brand new. Just remember when it was brand new for you. It's just,
So let me just run some by. So you had 150 people that are interested in you. And then how long of a period was this that you had?
3 days, she said.
Okay, so so out of 150 candidates, you don't think you found a potential one or two that's worth going out to get to know?
I don't know. It's just I don't know. I did find a couple, and I'm trying to break out of my shell and communicate with them. So I'm trying. But
okay, that's good. Congratulations.
Yeah. So I called Kenny. Kenny, don't make fun of me. Should I tell Will what I asked you earlier, or just leave it alone?
No, ask it. I think it's important.
Okay. So I do overthink things. I get that, but I had a guy message me this morning, and he was like, "Good morning, smoke show," and just talks for like. Or does like 2 minutes, like about my looks and stuff. But the smoke show thing, I was like, that's grossed me out. Is that
smoke show? What are you talking about?
Like that's like saying hottie, like saying like you're.
He was
hottie.
like, "What's up, smoke show? Like, look how hot you are."
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
So I was asking,
why did that gross you out? Because all men are like this.
That's what I said.
That's what I asked Kenny. I was like, Kenny, is this a normal thing for like men?
Yes.
To like show? But Kenny, you got to be honest what you said.
I will. I said I don't say smoke show. That's not in my vernacular.
Yes, but you also said something about like players might use.
No,
that.
players can use anything. Hey, beautiful. Hey, cutie. What's up? Like, there's no. What I'm saying is there's no magic word that is allocated.
Magic word. I was just saying the smoke show thing kind of was.
No. Okay.
So
Angie,
did you take the statement offensive, or was it just uncomfortable?
So here's my thing. She's saying there's no magic word, but she is saying there's a magic word because there's certain words that you want to hear. It's clearly not smoke show. So whatever that word that you want to hear is, that is the desire of what you want to hear. Like for me, again, I would probably say beautiful, but that's corny. Everybody says that, I assume. That's probably the one women hear the most.
So Angie, you didn't like the be called smoke show, right? You didn't like that it was a compliment.
Gave her the ick.
But you didn't like that version of a compliment, correct?
No, I did not.
What would be a more preferable compliment for you? If somebody was going to give you a nickname, what would you consider a comfortable nickname to call you?
I'm okay with beautiful. I'm okay with that. I don't really, I guess I've never really thought about like, oh, I wish some guy would say this. It's just, I felt something when I read it. I just was like, ooh. So I called Kenny and I was like, should I be ooh when I read that? Or is that not normal? So it's not like I was like, oh my gosh, I'm grossed out by this guy. It wasn't a dramatic conversation. I just wanted to ask Kenny, like, is that just a normal way men communicate?
Every guy's like that. Majority of us, like we like to we're guys, you know, we like to give names to things. We like the territory things. So we're going to give you a nickname. So if you have a quality about you or an asset or a feature we like you had nice legs, we'll call you legs. You have nice thighs, we'll call you thighs. You're beautiful, we'll call you beautiful. You're thick, we'll call you thick. We'll call you anything because it's just a comfortable way for us to communicate with you. It's no different than, you know, how women reply back, hubby, boo, whatever terms y'all come up with. It's us expressing ourselves in the same way. But you're going to get that from 10 out of 10 guys.
So I think where the maybe uncomfortableness from a comment like that comes from is that I'm nervous about putting myself out there just because of the experiences I've had over the past 3 years since my divorce of dating. It seems like men my age, close to my age, have almost given up on the hope, and I've talked to Kenny about this, given up the hope or want to settle down. So it's just, I'm nervous that all these men are, I shouldn't say all, but most of these men are players and just not looking for a certain thing, like a relationship. They're more looking for just like, let's hang out, let's hook up, whatever. So I think maybe I'm overthinking the communication because I'm worried that these men are just, you know.
So I got a solution for you. Why don't you substitute the worrying with questions? So if you think that this person could be a certain way, ask them, say, hey, you know, I'm looking for this and my intentions are this. I'm looking for a guy that's going to be like this. I'm willing to offer this. If you open up that dialogue, you're going to get through a lot of concerns you're going to have meeting men.
Yeah, that's a good way
So
to do
open up
it.
the dialogue and figure out what intentions they have or what they want. And then you can get a better idea of who you're dealing with. It's communication. You gotta ask questions. You gotta talk. You gotta communicate. You can't be concerned and past fears.
Yeah, and I definitely have fears that are holding me back from this whole thing, for sure.
So you gotta accept the fact that it's, you know, this is a road of new things. You're meeting new people. You're opening yourself up. You're allowing someone else in your life. But without that acknowledgement and you accepting that, you're never gonna get past getting past the first act, getting past the first swipe, getting past the first conversation. You got to give people an opportunity to figure out if they're going to work in your life or not.
Right.
So get used to guys calling you nicknames, especially if you're attractive. You want that. You want that. If they're not calling you nicknames, they don't like your ass.
Right.
They don't like you. If they say, yeah, what do you want? If they don't want to deal with you. If they call you legs or something or beautiful, they were interested.
Okay. Well, then I'll give that guy a shot.
Well, and it doesn't necessarily mean it's not an indicator of anything, I guess, is my point. Except for that they're attracted to you. That's the only indicator that it is. They could be a douche. They could be a great guy. You know.
Guys are territorial. We like to put names on things. Like we like to nickname stuff that we like. That's what we do.
It's very difficult, you know, for a guy to even approach a girl. So he's already thinking, shoot, how can I mean, I've seen it in girls' profiles. I don't want to hear, hey, don't, hey, beautiful me. Don't, you know, everybody has their thing and they expect people to just, I guess, know what these things are. And I mean, who knows?
By doing that, you're turning out potential people that could be, you know, a match for you. Because if that's the way they communicate, it's not offensive to you. What is the problem?
You're right.
Go with it.
Yeah.
I'm going to give you a nickname, Ange. By the time of this show is done, I'm going to have a nickname for you, Ange.
So
I got to see what that profile pic look like, so I'll give you a good nickname.
Well, her profile pic ain't bad. I tell you that.
I saw the red dress and the leg exposed. I was
she
oh,
didn't get 130 likes because she looked ugly on there. But here's the unfortunate thing that I think is tough to get around. How do you, especially as we're, you know, 40 years old, and you go, if you set like, I feel like it's very difficult when I'm on an app, you see somebody and they're filtered. You see somebody and they're filtered. You see somebody and they're filtered. And then all of a sudden you see them in person and it's almost like, whoa, because not because you don't expect them to have any flaws or lines, but because if they're filtered up, like it just doesn't look like them for a minute. I mean, I'm astonished at how many women can have TikTok pages, TikTok lives, and they look all pretty. I seen this one lady, she kind of looked down for a minute, and looked up and that thing didn't catch up to it. And she just looked completely different. And I don't really, whenever I end up on TikTok Live, I know I'm in the wrong area because I don't try to get on those. I think they're stupid. But when I saw it, I was like, ew. And I'm like, these women are getting this. And this is kind of a segue into the next questions that I have is these women are getting all this validation, right? Like for you, if you got 150 people in your inbox, how is the guy across the street, when you see him, that's only one guy. So how are you going to recalibrate yourself to be able to meet a normal dude if you're on these sites where you have 150 options?
My preference would be to meet a normal dude across the street.
Correct. But as you stay on an app where you're literally going, nope, 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 nope. Okay, maybe. Yep. Because, I mean, maybe it's not the same for women, but for guys, if we get 10 yeses, what do we go to, Will? The best looking at the top 3 of our options.
Hands down.
Right? And so if we go to our top 3 of our options, they're all 3 decent, and some girl who's mid comes up that we see, we're gonna be like, now maybe we do it in person. I'm sure there's some adjustment there, but if you do that enough, you're gonna start going, okay, that's the group that I fit in with. That's the level of person that I can get. You're not gonna go take a 4 if you feel like you're a 7 or a 6.
Man,
So,
there is.
I have two quick things. So, Kenny, with the women from my church group said that they would FaceTime the person before they met in person, so they could
I do that every time.
So they could get a real, like, okay, this is who this person is. Let's have a conversation before we waste any of our time.
I agree.
Yeah.
Yeah. No.
Here's the crazy thing. I've had some women tell me that they took that insulting. They were like, you either meet me in person or we don't meet at all. And I just like, well, I just can't meet you at all because if I don't know who I'm meeting, then it's not going to go down that path. Yeah,
I don't know what you're insulting about.
I had plenty of women who literally said that they don't like the video chat.
They're just uncomfortable doing it.
Yeah, but
well,
if you're
they can still video chat from the ceiling, and it cuts out their double chin and all that kind of stuff. So
I need to see the double chin. I need to see that.
Yeah, take that video from down here. I need to see all that.
But Kenny, we all got all that.
No, but I'm just saying that I think that really messes with people mentally. I think this era that we're in of social media attention is really negatively affecting the women. I don't. I'm sure there's some guys, but for the most part, guys are inherently like very difficult for us to be. What's the right word? Like, it's almost corny. I'm sure Will would agree with me. It's corny if a dude is all over social media trying to look cute.
Yes.
Like,
if a guy is clout tracing, we will tease them.
Right. He will get
the fact that they are lame.
Right. It's very hard for a guy to even get a selfie. A girl, if I go on an app and I'm trying to get on, I can't even get on really, like, because I have no selfies. Like, it's just hard for me to even find. I don't think I have 20 selfies in my phone out of 2,500 pictures. I have to like make them for the app because I just don't take pictures of myself like that. Whereas girls have hundreds on a monthly basis.
Per day, some of them. Some of them got 10, 20, 30 per day.
Now, I guess, so here's another question. I talked about it with Will briefly earlier today, but how do we come back as a society when, and I really wish Tiana was here as well, because I do believe that it's largely women's fault at the relationship impasse that we're in as a country. The reason I say that is not because women are bad guys and guys are good guys. It's because guys have been remarkably consistent over the last 100 years. Okay, I don't think guys have got substantially better. Maybe a little bit in terms of the abuse, but guys still do the same thing. For the large part, we work, we try to provide money, we take care of either families or ourselves, and that has been remarkably consistent over the last 60, 70 years. We've always needed a woman to keep us in check. That's happened back then. It would happen now. Whereas women in the last 40 years, they've been completely different. I mean, single motherhood's at an all-time high. You have women saying things that are exactly counterproductive to what actually makes them happy. You know, you hear things like, I want to be an independent woman. It's like, well, what does that even mean?
Where are you independent from? I don't understand that term, independent women. The only person you're trying to be independent from is men, but clearly you need them to survive or to procreate. So how can you be independent for a necessity? But
and so how do we? Do you disagree with that, or what are your thoughts on that first? And then, if you don't disagree with it, where do you think? How do we go as a society back to what I feel like is? I mean, clearly, whatever we're doing isn't working now. Is that? Would you agree?
I feel like a part of the problem or the issue that's been happening over the past couple of years is that now, and I'm not trying to blame the men, so don't take it that way, but I feel like part of the game has changed because a lot of it's both of our faults. Women are all over social media, putting all their stuff all over there, and men have all these women at their fingertips, and it just gives them such a temptation and an opportunity.
Men have all women at their fingertips.
Just so you know, men don't.
We definitely don't.
Men don't have all these women at their fingertips.
No. I meant on social media. Like you're looking at beautiful women on social media. So those temptations and those thoughts and those disconnects from the relationship causes problems.
So you're talking about from almost like pornography to a guy.
Yes. And now it's like now pornography, kind of, it's like now it's leaps and bounds bigger than it ever was before.
Right, which I think is in large part to, I mean, think about how many women have Instagram followers because they hop up and down with no bra on and a t-shirt.
Yep.
Right? They arch their back with their whale tail out. And I'm not saying I don't want to see it. Like I can go, oh, I don't want to see it. And then I see it, I'm like, oh my goodness. So, yes. I mean, it's almost like I feel like women are doing this to kind of get back at guys. But I don't think it's having any kind of positive influence.
I don't know about getting back at guys. I don't know.
Okay, so you've never heard girls say, well, girls should be able to do the same thing guys do. Guys sleep with girls should be able to sleep with guys. What's the big deal? Like girls are always fighting for fake equality, right?
I agree with you on that. I think regardless, when it comes to sexuality, I don't think it's appropriate for men to have, numbers in the 50s and 100s and body counts that high. I don't think that that's a good thing. By the way, I do think it's way worse if a woman's body count is that high. I do agree with that.
But you understand it's natural for men that want to have sex. Like,
absolutely.
It's not even a want, it's a need. Like men have it. We're programmed to have to chase or pursue for sex. Like that's who we are. Yeah. So our body count should be higher than you guys. You guys are wired different. You guys are there to protect yourselves. You guys are there to make sure you share yourself with somebody that's gonna be there to support you, to care about you. You guys look at your bodies way different than we look at our bodies.
Right.
So it's natural for a guy to have a higher body count than women.
Yeah. I totally agree with that.
Right.
But the problem with society now is the society and social media is telling everybody that it's okay for women to be promiscuous, and it's not. Mm-mm. Because at the end of the day, after you're done hoeing and running around, nobody really wants you.
Yeah,
Because
exactly.
you've been with everybody, you shared yourself with everybody, so everybody looks at you now as, yeah, I'll be next, but I'm not going to stick around.
But here's the
I'm
problem is that I think women, because here's the problem. There's going to be women that disagree with what Will said based on the fact, and I believe Will's right, but they'll say things like, oh, well, I still got these dudes that'll pay my bills. It's like, okay, that's fine, because there's always a simp, a little
always.
5 simp that will want to do anything for a girl that's a whore 8, right? I mean, I
They'll
know
do
some of
anything
them.
for 3.5.
But here's the problem. The problem is that even though he's fulfilling that financial need for her, she's always looking for something better. She doesn't love him. She's not happy. She continually kind of keeps her stuff out there on, she's always looking to replace this dude. So at the end of the day, the end of the day, they're not really going to be together. The simp will have her, but he's just a placeholder.
Yeah, he's short term. He's a short term lease.
Right. And then what happens is she'll eventually leave him for another simp, and she will just be stuck in simp land because any high quality dude is not going to want to be with her. And that's unfortunate and sad because people are putting themselves in these situations, but they're largely putting them there because they feel like they have more options than they do, because social media is giving them an inflated version of who they are. So let me ask you this, Angie.
Yes.
Because I want to, hopefully I can get to some things we disagree on. I want to find out, so why is it, and you have a bunch of girlfriends that are single that you talk to sometimes, and why is it that if a guy tells a girl, hey, I don't like you in a crop top and booty shorts running out to the grocery store, right? If a guy says that, a girl says what? A guy's controlling, a guy is misogynistic, whatever. But those same women will say, I want to be an independent woman. She'll have a boss. That boss will tell her exactly what her ass needs to wear to work, and she will never say nothing. So she's putting her boss above her partner, even though a boss is something fairly temporary, and her relationship should be, if we really want relationships to work, they should be forever.
Okay, I have a few things to say about that. First of all, the work and personal relationships are absolutely polar opposite. So I would take the boss and what you're required to wear to work, your uniform, take that completely out of the equation. I think when you're in a situation about women and men, and the man is not comfortable with what his woman is wearing, that's absolutely appropriate to explain to your girl that that's not appropriate to wear out. So I think if a woman is not accepting to that, they are maybe lacking maturity. And I think with the man, if you deliver your message the respectful, loving, proper way, your girl, your woman, if you come at her like, what are you wearing? You're going to wear that out of the house? Of course she's going to get defensive. But if you come to her and you're like, it's so good, please don't do this to me. Can you put something else on? Everybody's going to make it like a cute, loving, communicating situation as opposed to a negative thing.
But here, so Will, I'd like to see what your experiences with this is. My experience is this. The first time I go, come on, babe, you look super fine. You cannot be wearing that out the house. And because I come at it with light, she takes it light. Oh, ha, 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 ha. Then gets ready to walk out the house and the same thing we just talked about. Because she's not understanding the importance of it. And then if I say the importance of it, then she comes back and says, oh, well, why are you so insecure?
I hear that a lot from women.
And I would love to know Will's opinion on this and yours, Angie. But in my opinion, you have two guys, right? You have me and you have this other dude. And you're going to walk out the house with your fat knuckles hanging out the front of your shorts, right? And the girl goes walking out the house and I say, hey, this is inappropriate. You know, you're damn near naked. And to me, that shows confidence because that's not an easy conversation to have. The simp, the dude who has no confidence, the dude who's super insecure, he's the one that's going to let you walk out the house like that because he doesn't like it either. So he is massively insecure, and he goes, and then he bitches to his friends. He's like, and then I'm not doing that, right? I am secure in myself. I know what my worth is. I know what is acceptable and not acceptable. And so why does it get flipped that the insecure dude who's scared to say something should be valued more than some guy that is standing up for you? Because as a real man, it's my job to protect you, to provide for you. So why would I not do that by setting standards and boundaries?
You want me to respond first or Angie?
Yeah. Will and then Angie.
I agree with your statement 100%. And the women I have been involved with in the past, most of the women I attract and I get involved with has to be submissive. Because if I'm going to be able to provide, protect, and make sure I'm a security person for you, you have to listen. If you're not willing to listen, I can't protect you. So if I give you information that says, don't wear that because that could be a problem, I need you to respond knowing that I am doing that for the best interest of both of us. I don't need you to come out here half-ass naked, causing all these problems, going places that I have to deal with issues I don't want to deal with. It's not an insecurity. It's more of a respect level. I wouldn't be with a woman that's going to go show her body off to the world. That just tells them you're too promiscuous. I don't date. I wouldn't take a woman serious if her body is the only asset she has to give. And if she flaunts it around like she doesn't care about keeping her temple to herself, then it's a no-go for me. It's a no-go. But if a guy tells you things to warn you and be concerned about, especially appearance, he cares. The only person that's not giving information is some guy that's a simp that doesn't have the manhood or the balls to tell you what you're doing is wrong or what you're doing is inappropriate.
Yeah.
But a lot of women, I've seen ticket the wrong way.
I feel like if it's the right man and the right woman, that will absolutely be an understanding between both of those people.
Why does it have to be the right man and right woman? Why can't it just be that information sounds good, I should apply it?
Well, because I know for me, like Kenny was saying, if I'm dating a guy who's insecure and I'm just wearing what I want to wear and I leave and it is what it is and he complains about what I wear, that's a thing. But if he's confident and says it's the right way, let's sit and talk about this, and talk about, why it's not a good idea to wear whatever. I just think it's more about if the couple is on, if the man and woman are on a great relationship and communicate with each other really, really well, then those conversations will be okay.
So let me ask you this, because I've noticed this. A lot of times you'll say if they say it the right way, but as guys, I'm sure we'll agree, we feel like there is no right way.
Yeah.
Right? Like we try to say it, and if you guys know what we're trying to say, right? Like if we've been together 3 months, 5 months, 6 months, 9 months, you should know why I'm trying to say it. If you think I'm just wake up in the morning and feel like controlling you, like if your default is always negative and I have to figure out some great way to say it so that it ends up being positive, that is going to be a failure way more often than I'm trying. It's like we both know what I'm doing. Why do I have to say it a specific way? Why? I mean, I understand not saying it like, hey, bitch, don't leave the house. But if I'm saying it, why translate it in a negative way when you know what I'm saying? Like, I feel like that's in a lot of different areas. Women will do that, and they're like, well, if you said it this way, and it's like, dude, how do I know how I'm supposed to say it? I mean, this one girl got super mad at me because she had a tongue ring, and I was just asking her, she was 27 years old, and I was like, hey, like, I got a question. Like, what? And this wasn't like I wanted her to get rid of it. I was just thinking, at what age is it appropriate to get rid of your tongue ring? Now, I liked her regardless, but how can I not ask that question?
That's a
Oh, I'll
perfectly
get
fine
rid of it
question.
when I want to get rid of it. Okay, and when would that be? Like, there's not a, you know, if I was 60 years old and I was in a jumpsuit, some girl would be like, really? You think that's appropriate? What are you, a imp? You know, like, a woman's allowed to ask these questions. The girls will tell a guy what I mean, most of the time, we don't care. We wear what we wear to try to get women, not because we wake up in the morning and go, man, I love my outfit. So why is it like, I just feel like women try to find ways that guys say stuff so they can be like, well, if you'd have said it like this, and it's like, my intent wasn't bad. If you're dating me, you should know my intent's not bad. I don't, but their feelings get hurt, and so they want to hurt me back. I asked about a tongue ring, it hurt her feelings. She tries to stab back, even though that wasn't my intent.
Well,
I
I
mean-
want to go back to the dating app thing. I have some questions as well.
You want to go to the dating app conversation?
Yes, I feel like we
All right.
jumped from it. We started with
All right,
it.
go-
So-
what about the dating app? Go ahead.
So I want to ask, like on average, how many women are you talking to at the same time, and at like how many dates?
So your friend just handed you this note?
Huh?
Somebody just handed you this note?
What no?
Nothing. Go ahead.
The question.
Go ahead.
No, she's on her phone.
That shit came out of left field.
You said
Oh,
how many potential swipes do we have?
well, basically, yeah. How many people do you communicate with? On like if you had an average, but also like either per week or per month. On average, how many dates do you go on? First dates.
First dates, probably. But what do you consider? I don't really go out on dates that much. I don't.
So what do you do? So give me an
Like a
example.
meetup.
Yeah, it's a meetup because I'm not.
Give me
I
an
don't
example.
believe. All right, perfect example. So I'll probably average have between 8 or 9 women I would meet in a month. I'm talking about on the app that we will mutually like, probably about 8 or 9 a month max.
And you would meet them in person?
No. I'm talking about actually match. I just use the word match. Probably one a week in total, like 8 and 9 total, because a lot of the girls that I match with, I'm not compatible with. So I'll actually, you may, I don't, to be honest with you, my version of swiping is a little different than a lot of people's version of swiping. I don't even look, I just swipe. I deal with the numbers when it, I don't even look, I just swipe into this.
So Angie, a lot of guys do that, just so you know.
Oh, so that's how the number was so high because they're just swiping.
No.
I don't even look. I don't even look until I'm done swiping. Then whoever responds back, I'll figure out if I like them or don't like them. But at the end of the day, it doesn't matter who I like. They gotta like me back. So out of the 8 or 9 that I have, probably I'm going through, I probably meet one girl a month in person.
Okay.
And that's about
Maybe
same
one.
for me, Will. Same with me.
Give me an example of what a meetup looks like.
All right, so I'll meet him. I try to eat healthy, so I'll go places like Panera Bread. I'll meet him at a Starbucks. If they like to work out, we can do a gym session. But I'm not a wine and dine type of guy. I'm not here trying to buy your time. This isn't prostitution. I'm actually trying to get to know you. So I'll do things that involve us to have a conversation without me spending money to get to know you. If you're a type of girl that has a certain type of financial requirement to get to know you, I'm automatically not attracted. I'm not attracted to you. So if you want to meet up and have a conversation, get to know, who I am, who you are, and do a dialogue, yeah, cool. It's usually Smoothie King for a smoothie, Starbucks for a coffee, Panera Bread for soup and salad, something simple. And then I can get a gauge of if this is going to go any further or not.
Okay.
So I would say one a month and probably between 7 or 8 that are currently in the app that I would communicate with. But after a week or two.
And how many of those do you communicate with at the same time, Will?
At the same time, you talk about once I get to know the person?
Like, so you've swiped some, you say hi to a couple of them, there's a couple of them start engaging you, right? Yeah. So I'll answer for me, there's probably maybe 2.
Yeah, I was going to say the same thing, maybe 2.
Yeah, a girl will entertain like 5.
I don't have the time to be dealing with 5 women.
Me neither. I'm not going to remember either.
I don't have the emotional energy or. The
I think I've met one person in person from an app in the last year.
Really?
Yeah, from an app. Because most of the time I'm just like, meh.
So, how,
Yo,
so
Tim, I think these women have these assumptions that we're meeting women every other day.
They do. They have such a false representation because
We
they
don't have
meet that
time
many.
or the patience to do that.
Yes,
So
I
if
think I've met one in this year. I'm trying to think off the top of my head, honestly, that I've actually met up with, went on a date with from a website. One.
So, Ange, let me ask you a question. What do you think the average man is doing numbers-wise? How many contacts does he have in Hinge? And how many dates you think he's going on in a month? The average guy. We didn't give you this information. What would be your guess?
my guess would be that these guys are actually communicating with a lot of women.
How many? What's a lot?
I would
Give me
say
a number.
I would say maybe 10 to 15. I'm just, you're saying no, but you asked me. Let me answer.
No. I got
You're
you.
listening.
I would say they probably don't go on actual in-person dates that often. That would
So
be
what do
my
we
guess.
do? We go over there, knock it out, and keep it moving?
No, I
One
just think
night
that
stands?
a lot of these men just feel more comfortable in their phones than
They feel more comfortable, what?
in their phones, like just talking to people through their phone. And then when it comes down to, okay, let's actually meet up.
Right, but you're saying texting like 15 girls?
Yeah. On the app.
Yeah, on the app, like communicating on a daily, every other day basis.
Now, when I say communicating, I don't necessarily mean that they've got almost like kind of these relationship building and they're actually getting to know 15 people at one time. I'm talking like, hey, these guys, I'm guessing here, I'm just thinking, that they, at late at night, they'll just be messaging a couple people and see where it goes. So that's where I came up with like 15. Yeah. So that's,
We can do that. We can message a couple people, see where it goes.
I'm sure women do that too. I'm new to this, so I'm getting used to communicating through the app and talking to people in that sense. It's kind of odd when you're.
Well, I would think, and again, I don't know either. I'm not every dude, right? But I would assume that most guys, if he's got decent game and he's a decent looking guy, I would say the most girls he's probably talking to is 5 on any kind of level.
That's too many.
Maybe 4.
3.
And that's what?
3.
Yeah.
We're not juggling all those emotions. That's just too much to deal with.
For sure. I'm including a girl you hit up once a month when shit's all going wrong and you're like, what are you doing? Okay. If I'm including
one of those texts, it's so gross. I knew. That's so gross.
Oh, you used that text. Miss me with that. So, I said you've hit somebody up with that text. Don't shoot me on that.
Act all innocent over there.
I
Ange,
know.
We know who you are. We've seen your resume.
Oh, Angie, you've never?
No, I did.
Okay. So my point is that it's not like that's kingpin type shit. Like you just don't have. Now maybe there's some narcissist on earth that can do that, but not if he's working. Like maybe if he doesn't have a job, but like if you work and you're trying to make ends meet and you're trying to build stuff and you're reading, there's not enough time in a day.
Impossible. Yeah, he has nothing going for his life. He can swipe all day, talk to women all day, and focus his life.
And talking, I've been in a position where I was single and I had the opportunity to talk to kind of 3 girls, and there's no harm in it. Like in terms of if you're being honest and you're trying to find somebody, you got to get to know the person. But even just getting to know the 3 people, there's no way because you start forgetting who you told what to. I mean, I've got to talk every day to 3 girls, and then I got to say what's up to Will, say what's up to Angie, say what's up to my brother, say what's up to my buddy Adam. I mean, I'm not going to remember who I told what to. I mean,
that's true.
I think I just need to be a little more open to this whole process.
Ange, I'm going to jump on a statement you said last time we talked, and I think I wanted to address a question you might have had that you didn't get answered. I think your concern is guys are not taking it from the app to meeting. Am I wrong?
Mm-hmm. You're right.
So your concern is, or your question is, why are these guys communicating with the apps, sending a couple messages, but it's not getting past that point? Is that is that a concern?
Mm-hmm.
The biggest thing is, and I can speak for myself. When I interact with these girls on these apps, if I don't see any reciprocation, if they're not responding, I don't really go anywhere with it. If they're one of these type of women that I have to consistently start the conversation, end the conversation, reach out to you, chase you down, I don't deal with women like that. If they're not going to reciprocate that their interests and their intentions, it fades off quick. I give it maybe a week. But if I have to constantly be the person that says hi or our conversation starter or get the conversation going, after 7 days, I'm no longer even interested.
You kind of feel the same way, Kenny?
Yeah. I mean, here's what's interesting. You go out with somebody, and it's kind of funny how often the person that you're not really into will full court press you, and the person that you kind of hoping full court presses you doesn't.
Man, listen, I changed the game on some things though. I learned. I focus my energy now on the women that actually show me that they're interested in me, and it's changed so much because the women that I'm interested in and I have to run down, chase, and pursue, it doesn't evolve into anything. Nothing comes.
It's funny you say that because I've actually thought a lot about that. You know, you
gotta change gears.
Yeah,
you gotta change gears because I learned now the woman that is actually interested in you is going to be the one that actually holds you down. Is going to have the qualities that you want because she's obviously showing you the intentions of her pursuing you, or she's equally interested in you. So I've learned at a certain point that start accepting the ones that, or start looking at the ones that are looking at me. As long as they meet the qualifications of what I want in a woman, that is kind of like more of the gear of what I'm looking for now.
But how do you, because my concern in that area is that I just feel like if she's like that with me, she's like that with other dudes.
No,
and if she's like that with other dudes.
You can't assume that. You can't assume that because then you got to go with, you can't assume that because I had that thought too at first. But some women out here I found are literally, there's some women, it's just very few in between that I meet, that are literally looking for a genuine person, one person to spend time with and get to know. And you can kind of see it by their actions. You know, they're usually home early. They usually don't hang out late and party. Their conversations always aren't going to the club and brunch. Like you can hear it based on the dialogue that you have with this person. So now my approach to women is if I get some type of good response from them in communication, I'm not the only one that's holding the conversation. Those are the ones that I'm interested in. The ones who I have to literally chase them down for a conversation after like 5 or 6 days. I give up. I just give up. And I've had better success dealing with women who respond than dealing with women who sit there and like, is this guy going to hunt for me? I can't.
So then, are you dating somebody specific right now? And did that person do that?
No. Right now, I'm still.
On. I mean, that doesn't make sense to me because I feel like if that was the move I took, then wouldn't I be with that person?
I mean, no, because the unfortunate part, but I'll be honest, is some of the women that are interested in me, I'm not 100% was interested in them.
That's right.
They might have characteristics.
Time out. That's exactly what I was saying.
I agree with you. I 100% agree with you. So, like,
what are you telling yourself? You need to do this now?
No, I hope I'm not. No, but
because that's what I was just saying.
I agree with you 100%. So, like, take for instance, I had a swipe on my phone maybe 3 or 4 days ago. So, I'm trying to think the difference between her and the girl I would usually mess with. So she was a little bit older.
She was 43. I'm 42, so it's not a bad thing. I like dating women. I know.
That's like
I
10 years older than girl years.
I know that's like dog years. That's up there.
So she's 43. She has a kid. She lives in Virginia, which is a little further out. She lives in Centerville, which is kind of like, out there. But some of the qualifications.
Hold on, who else lives in Centerville in Virginia?
Oh, you live all the way up there?
You just told the world where you lived.
Can we
We're looking for you.
delete?
Delete this. It's live.
live.
Everybody knows now.
Hopefully, there's only 2 people on Facebook, so we're good.
There's nobody on here right now.
We're fine.
But I've learned now to just adjust from looking for what I want to trying to be open to allowing other people to come in my life that are interested in me. Because I'm
trying that too, because I do get so tired of chasing. I mean, there's a person who says that they care so much, and then
I can't do it no more. I can't chase no more. I can't do it. I have no problem with pursuing.
Women love like a little bit of a chase, like
I don't chase women
at all.
I don't chase women at all. Zero.
See, I'm getting to that point. I'm on the edge right now.
Listen, join the club. There's no. Think about it. The energy. Why would you chase a woman in the first place? As bad as it sounds, and most women don't want to accept this. Men are actually the prize. We take care of you guys. Men are actually the prize. We're the providers.
Yeah.
We're everything. We're the entire unit. Without us, the whole function of the relationship doesn't work. We're the strength. We're the provider. We're the shelter. We're the care. We're the security. Why am I chasing you?
Oh, God knocked him out.
Oh, that is too funny.
But I mean, I do think what he's saying there is a lot of truth to that. I mean, it's not that I don't think women are a prize, but guys are the prize because.
Yes, that's what I've been telling my friends. I'm looking for the diamond in the rough.
Right.
I'm looking for my prize.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think it's frustrating because I don't know. It's just tough. It's tough finding that balance of, is this somebody that I'm into, they're into me, we have things in common, we enjoy each other. And then you also have to line some things up, they got to live in a remotely close area to you.
Mm-hmm.
I
don't mind long distance, like right out the gate, like the beginning, I don't mind that.
I mean, it sounds good, but the problem is that it's very hard, I think, for 2 people to do something long distance because, especially early on, because you got to find out about this person. And I think, we don't have much time, but one of the things I wanted to get into that's very tough is that women and men, it's like this idea of how do I get to the most completed version of myself to be able to be prepared to get in a relationship. But within that relationship, girls who are friends of mine, be friends for years. You and me been friends for years. I have a handful of girls been friends with me for a long time. But I get into a relationship and all of a sudden the game steps up, right? I can't practice dating you, right? Like I can't practice dating a friend of mine. I have to date somebody. We have to go through those times. I'm going to get frustrated. My voice, I have the Marine voice. So when I talk stern, it comes off louder than I mean it to. And, I don't know. I have to work through that in a relationship, I feel like not that I've completely tapped out. I'm the greatest dude ever, but I'm accomplished. I work out. I have certain physical, emotional, mental places that I'm at a good spot. And so if I was to meet somebody, how I still have that hump to get over. Does that make sense? Within the relationship.
So I'm sorry. I never know how to turn that off.
And so it's hard because people will say, oh, well, you know, did you take care of everything? You know, why don't you use this time to take care of you? And it's like, dude, I actually did take care of me. You know, like I actually do go and work out. I actually do watch what I eat. I actually do straighten up my house. I actually do have a home. I actually do have a business. I actually do have 2 businesses. So it's like, okay, so I've done these things. Work on your temper. Okay, I do with my kids or I do with my dog, but I still have to be in a relationship to be able to work through that, you know? Mm-hmm. And I think it gets frustrating sometimes to go, okay, I've worked on these things, but I still am not where I want to be, but I can't be there without being in a relationship. Mm-hmm. Because I can get real comfortable being by myself. I mean, I can go do whatever I want. If I want to meet somebody at the bar and make out with them, I can. If I leave, I can. If I want to go get drunk, I can. If I get Uber home, I can. If I want to go on vacation, I can. I want to go to the Dolphins game, I can. I want to watch sports, I can. Like, I have kids. I don't need a woman, but I believe that in order to be the most complete version of who I want to be, for that, I do need a woman.
Yep. I agree.
So so how does that, why do I feel like women always say, you know, things like, oh, well, did you work on your, you know, like
that goes both ways. That goes both ways. Even going through, you know, my divorce and talking with friends and people, it's just take this time to reflect and work on yourself and be the best version of yourself. So maybe what they're trying to say is, as opposed to just feeling like, well, I can't find somebody, just keep doing what you're doing, taking care of yourself, staying active, self-help books, all the things. And then hopefully your woman is going to come along. And that's kind of what I've been doing.
Yeah, I don't know. How about have you heard, and what are your thoughts on when people say, oh, well, stop looking and then you'll find, because
I do that all the time.
Right. So I hear people say that all the time, yes. But that seems kind of stupid to me, because it's like, if you're, you know, if I told you to find a 4-leaf clover and you're not looking for it, how are you going to find your 4-leaf clover? You're just going.
Right. Well, I don't know. I feel like,
because it kind of seems like wink, wink, nod, nod. Don't be looking for somebody, but if you see them, you know, like,
yeah,
it just seems kind of almost cliche, where just people say that all the time, and it's like, oh, how did you meet your person? Mm-hmm. Like, oh, I met him when I wasn't looking. Yes, you were. That's how you found him. Like,
yeah, but it's not like I think I said this on one of the podcast things we did before about Matthew McConaughey, where he said that everywhere he went when he was single, he would just look at each woman and just be like, oh, could that be my woman? Could that be my woman? He said he'd be at the red light and look over at the car and see a woman and be like, could that be my wife? You know, it was just like constantly on his mind. And he got to this place where he stopped thinking about it. And he met his wife. So I think maybe that's what people are trying to say. Stop having it being so forefront and the only thing you think about, and really focus on having your best life. Do all the things that make you happy. You know, you're out all the time. You meet people all the time. So I think I think you and I are very, very similar, and we want a partnership so bad that it's hard to turn that part of our mind off. Because I do that. You know, if I'm out,
I just don't see value in it.
You don't see value in what?
In turning that off. Because
it's not about turning it off completely. It's about not having it constantly be on your mind. Because I know for me, it is. When I'm out at the grocery store and I see an attractive man, I'll look to see if he has a wedding ring. It's like, it's constant. It's constantly on my mind. And it's like, I need to, you know, hopefully at some point it won't be so forefront, and I'll be lucky enough to meet somebody.
And see, to me, I would be like, well, eventually you're going to find somebody who's got no ring on, and then that's going to be your intro to the conversation. You're more likely to find a guy that way. I feel like there's probably a lot of 40-year-old old maids out there with no kids going, well, if I can meet the right person, if they just come across and it's like, what about that person? What about that person? What about that person? Like,
I'm back, y'all.
Welcome back.
Welcome back, Will.
So what were y'all saying? Because I did not charge my laptop and the battery died on me. So I went to my car to charge it after stuffing my face in that Mexican restaurant.
Well, we're actually wrapping up now. It's an hour. Oh, I thought your friend wasn't there anymore.
She is there. I said she was on her phone.
She's getting an education. Trust me, this is a good thing. But I want to say something with the off the phone.
So
I've learned, and this might sound crazy, but it's working, and I've learned a lot of the men is working for them too. If I don't see a girl reciprocating that she has interest, you got to cut it off.
Mm-hmm.
Because what are you really doing? You're literally just chasing somebody that does not want you.
Yeah, it's a waste of time.
A waste of time.
Mm-hmm.
So
and
if you see a girl, if you see a girl, you tell her you're.
He also has Boost Mobile.
Well, while he's cut off, I feel bad for, I guess, I don't know. What I'm trying to say is I'm hesitant to show interest through these apps because it's like a nervous little barrier thing that I have for myself. So it's not that I'm not interested in the guy. It's just I'm being held back from my own confusion, insecurities, whatever it is. So it's hard for me to just put myself out there to somebody I don't know.
No.
Like when somebody messages me, I'm not like, oh, I'm going to message him right back, blah, blah, blah. I'm like, I don't say, and then I won't respond for a while.
Right. No, I understand that. I think I don't really put much stock into that, a little bit. But me, it's like once I start talking to you or in a relationship.
Yeah.
Like,
well, yeah.
My gosh, the last relationship I was in, I mean, she just hardly ever filled my love bucket. It was so frustrating. Like her dog got way more attention. In my last 2 relationships, their dogs have gotten way more appreciation and love and attention than I ever got. And I believe that's a problem, but I think that girls do that because a dog is never going to tell you what to do. I mean, a dog, it's always going to show you unconditional love without you giving any effort to it. What are you laughing about?
I have a magnet that says, what does it say? Dogs welcome, people tolerated.
Yeah. I mean, but people do that. And it's like, that's really a dangerous thing because dogs are such an easy solution. It's like, I have a dog now and it's like, I really, the dog loves me. So now I don't need a girl. Okay, cool. I have everything I need. But if I do that, I just don't think that's going to end well for me. I don't think that's the right thing to do. I think it would be me copping out. And I think I would be not maximizing my potential because I think the greatest version of myself is one that learns how to really give unconditional love to someone I don't have to. Like I have to unconditionally love my kids. Some of my kids treat me like straight trash and I still love them because there's no other choice. I have to. Mm-hmm. But in a relationship, you don't have to. It's choosing that person every day, again and again and again, when you don't want to, when they're on your nerves, when you're not attracted to them. Mm-hmm. And then you continue to work through that. And then I believe it comes full circle. But I wouldn't know because I haven't had that relationship. So, yeah. So any final thoughts today, Angie? We'll give Will a rest in peace for his computer's death.
Yes. Nothing new out. I guess we can just update, how this dating app lifestyle is going to go. I'm not really looking forward to it. It's just because life is busy and life is hectic. So like you said, it's not like guys can just sit on their phone all day at work, just texting people back and forth. So, but yeah, that'll be a good update for next week. And then come up with some topics.
Sounds good. Sounds good. Well, first of all, I appreciate, being so open and stuff. I think it's hard for some people. It's one of the things I appreciate about you and Will is really having people that can actually open up, because some of this stuff is vulnerable things. It's tough to discuss. So next time I'll make sure, again, I need to make sure that I copy it on all the web pages. We got to make sure we do that. It's going to be a process, but we'll share it and stuff like that, see what happens. But have a great day, Angie. Take care, everybody. We'll see you next time.
All right. Bye.